We're now moving on to the hand, which is really going to be the thumb and the fingers on this. So I'm going to do the thumb now, and then I'll do one of the fingers, and that should be good for the rest of them because it's the same thing over and over again. So again, not really much difference here. I'm just going to articulate it open and start smoothing it. I see a good, I see a good range of motion here, but this needs a lot of work on here. So I'm going to go into smooth, and I'm going to go to my middle brush, and we'll just start smoothing this stuff. You see, it's not really doing anything. I'm on this joint here, so I know it's going to have to do that. So this screams out that the hand and the thumb are fighting this area, or the hand and thumb in this joint. So if I go into this one here, that's got some weight coming back to it, but it's definitely the hand. It's actually doing a lot of weight to that. Okay. Because we definitely don't want this to have that giant stretch there. So it should have a little blend going on to here. Okay. This doesn't look too bad, but I'm not really loving this area. So I'm going to smooth this around. This is obviously one of those areas that's pretty complicated because you don't just have one area. It's going in and attacking multiple areas. So this again might be something where I want to remove some weight from it. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when I move it off to the side. That doesn't look too bad. When I do this, it doesn't look great, but a lot of that's because I'm actually rotating and crunching it together. So let me see if I can actually just move it like that. It's not too bad. I want to smooth out that more, but it's definitely not an area where I'm like supremely unhappy with it. It just needs more. It just needs more TLC on it. Okay. Okay. And the big one is finding out who has the big weight on it to start removing from it here. So the question, if I start adding weight on here, I go add subtle brush and I put my value to 0.1, will it start, what will it do? And it's moving back a little bit. Let me see if I bring this through, if that'll look a little cleaner. Hold down shift and maybe smooth that a little bit and see if that takes away some of the weight from the hand here. So it's not really moving that much. I'm actually holding down shift. Let's go into my middle brush and see. It's not doing that much on there. Again, I'm not against what it did already there, so it's not like that would be awful. I know it would need more work to be really like 100% quality onto it, but it's not terrible either. And if I reset this, let's look at the motion going out. Coming out's not too bad, like that. It just, you can see where it's welting up here. So maybe painting this will fix some of that. Okay, let's go into here. Okay, so I move that up, and I definitely need to, I don't need a big range of motion, but when I move these up, that wrinkle shouldn't be there. So a lot of that is that this weighting needs to come up above here. So let's just move that out, see if I could fix that. I'm going to try to add on to that. Remember, smoothing normally reduces a value on something. So I go from there. So I'm going to add on here. And I'm going to go to this joint here and see if I can It looks like I want to add on to this one here. Holding down Shift, it'll kind of smooth some of that out. I'm in a very strong brush. I'm going to go into the subtle brush on here, so I can add smaller degrees on it, so it's not moving up so fast on it. Holding down Shift again. Okay, so let me go into the other influence above it and see if smoothing that out will clean that up a little bit. Okay, let's go to smooth, middle brush. So maybe I want to pop this out. That again would be in adding mode. I'm probably going to hold down Shift in a second here. Hold down Shift. That's kind of getting where I want to go on there. And eventually I'll do this, which I haven't done that. So that's not too bad. It's not like this joint moves that much on there. So I'm going to be okay with that for now. And let's see if I move this down a little on here. The trouble one's going to be underneath this thumb. That's going to be the tricky area. So go to smooth, middle. I go to the joint above it. Actually, if I get this right, I kind of approach this in a good way on this. And I say that is because I want to keep this. I want to keep the crease here, but I don't want to lose the volume in my thumb when it comes up. Oops, I painted an area I shouldn't have painted on it. Okay. I did it again. Okay. I'm actually pretty happy how the underside of that thumb is coming out, because that's actually one of the harder areas to do. I mean, I got to clean up that a little bit because this line here is going too much on there. But if I clean those lines up, this would actually look really good underneath this finger here. So I'll hold down B, and I am going to scale. I just think this is going to give me a better result on here. So I should be able to bring this back out. Okay, so I'm on the wrong influence. Helps if I was in the correct influence. Actually, smoothing might be okay here, because it was so sharp on there, I didn't actually pay time onto that. Okay, so let's see what that looks like on there. So clean that up just a little bit more there. And again, we're getting into really fine territory at this point, because unless you can see the underneath the character's fingers, I'm going to undo that. Okay, so then again, this comes to the point where if I can scale this back just a tiny bit here so it's not so sharp, that would actually be pretty good. Make the brush really small because I want to break that one up. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, you got to think about the direction that you're going to be on the thumb on here. How close are you going to be? So I definitely could clean up that a little bit more in the corner here. It doesn't look like that's really moving. So let's go into smooth. I'm going to do an add, and I'm going to do a 0.1 on there because it should be moving in a lot more on that. Roll down Shift and smooth this out a little bit. See, that's going in the wrong direction, so I'm hoping that if I go and add to this one here, that will fix it. And it is. Adding normally does move things pretty drastically in that direction. Okay. So that's our thumb on there. And the next thing will be on the finger, and I'll do one finger on the next podcast, and that'll be it.